Hello and welcome to Death of Raven Gaming. Today we are, as always, playing Marvel Champions, or always so far, Marvel Champions LCG by Fancy Flight Games. Today we're doing something special like we did when Drax just got released, and that is play the newest release hero, which today is of course Venom. And yeah, so we randomize everything else, it's just we have Venom set as the hero. And I have not played Venom at all until this stream. And of course, for the people who don't know, this is Agent Venom. So Flash Thompson, not Eddie Brooke, who's not a hero. But anyway, we're gonna start with randomizing the aspect we're gonna play. And we are playing as Justice, which of course is the preset one he comes with. So that's gonna be interesting. And then who are we fighting is the question. And of course, we are fighting the Wrecking Crew. Okay. Okay. Not the... I'm just gonna remove the cards we're not gonna use since we're playing Expert as always. Which means we only need those. Okay, and actually, Wrecking Crew does not have a Modular Encounter set. So we're actually not going to randomize anything more. And we're gonna, before going to Venom, we're just going to discuss the Wrecking Crew a little bit, because the first time we play the monsters stream. And they're very, very special in a way that instead of being one villain you face, I'm just gonna... You face 4 separate villains with their own side scheme, with their own schemes. And we're gonna go through how we do this in a minute. We're gonna build the deck first, but it's basically just they have their own encounter deck and their own scheme that we have to fight. So it's gonna be a little bit difficult to fit them on this, but yes. But we're gonna go through this in a minute. That means that's why we don't have a modular encounter set. But yeah. So actually, we're not using the villain health counter today on the actual thing. We're actually gonna use these that the game comes with, because I only have prepared for one villain. So it's gonna be a little bit different today, so I'm just gonna set this up first. And see if you guys can see the health pretty easily. You can, that's nice. Wrecking Crew is, according to me, one of the probably simpler scenarios. I mean, I'm saying that now and then I'm probably gonna lose, but my experience so far is that it's one of the simpler scenarios. Okay, which means let's go through Venom, the new character, and of course his alter ego is Flash Thompson. For recovery, alter ego, soldier, you can control one additional upgrade that has the restricted keyword, so more guns for him, and then armed and ready. Set up discard card from the top of your deck until you discard a weapon upgrade, then add that card to your hand. So you're gonna guarantee start with a weapon upgrade when you play him in your hand. And then his hero side, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense. Guardian and Space Knight, you can control 1 additional upgrade. It has the restricted keyword here as well. It's good that it's on both sides, which means if you flip back to Flash Thompson, you don't have to, you know, what is it called? Discard it, since it's on both sides. And then Symbiotic Bond, resource, take a damage to generate wild resource, limited once per phase. And those wild resources are going to be quite good, as we're going to see in a minute. So 2 behind enemy lines, which are 2 cost events. Hero action, thwart, remove 3 threat from a scheme. If you paid for this card using only mental resources, confuse an enemy. And then of course you only have, if you use his ability, you only have to play 1 mental resource or wild resource from your hand. Which is not too difficult, shouldn't be too difficult to handle. Then you have 2 Grasping Tendrils, which is 2 cost event, defense, and this interesting art choice. Hero Interrupt. When the villain initiates an attack against you, cancel the attack. If you paid for this card using only fist resources, stun that enemy. Stun the enemy. Which is great. Once again, it's only 2 costs, so using his ability and then throw away a fist, it should be easy to do that, especially since this one is limited once per phase and not per round. Then he has 1 Locked and Loaded, which is a 0 cost event. Search your deck for a weapon upgrade and add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. It's just another way to find your weapons. It's great. He's all about weapons. You have 3 Run and Gun. 3 cost events. Skill, hero action, ready Venom and each weapon upgrade you control. See, he's all about the weapons. But he also, of course, has some stuff that doesn't have to do with weapons, but he's Agent Venom, so it makes sense. 2 cost event, Savage Attack. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using only energy resources, this attack gains overkill. A solid attack. It's nice that they have these 2 cost with a special ability for all 3 defense, thwart, and attack. Then you have Project Rebirth 2.0, which is a 1 cost support. Alter Ego action, exhaust Project Rebirth 2.0. Choose to either draw a card or heal 3 damage from Flash Thompson. So that's solid. Then you have 1 copy of his multi-gun. 3 cost upgrade, attack weapon, restricted, which means usually you can only have 2 out, but he can have 3 because his Venom. And exhaust as a hero action, exhaust multi-gun and choose one of the following. Deal 2 damage to an enemy, choose a player, deal 1 damage to each minion engaged with that player, or remove 2 threat from a scheme. So that's just great. It's a very versatile gun. Then there's a 2 cost upgrade, which is Spider Sense, which is hero interrupt. When the villain initiates an attack against you, draw a card. And that's, of course, exactly the same ability that is on the regular Spider-Man. When the villain initiates an attack against you, draw a card. Because they both have Spider Sense. So he has that ability. And then he has 2 copies of Venom's pistol. 1 cost upgrade, restricted. But it says here max 2 restricted card player, but in this case it's 3. And hero interrupt. When you use one of Venom's basic power, exhaust Venom's pistol to get +1 to the power for that use. So it's a nice way to boost defense, attack, or thwart. Very versatile guns. Usually we go through the obligation, but we're not gonna do that now because as we don't use a modular encounter against the Wrecking Crew, we also don't add our obligations. I am pretty sure. I'm just gonna check. It was a while ago since I played it, so I'm just gonna check in the. Nemesis cards and obligation are not used in playing the scenario. Exactly. So yeah. Okay. So let's build a deck. I know they have a little bit of everything. They have some really good, really good. They have some minions and everything. They generally have a deck that looks almost identical, except that it's like one or two, maybe like out of their 18 cards, maybe 5 cards that are like super unique to them to make them feel like the character you're fighting at the moment. But yeah, so let's see here. Building a deck. I'm just gonna see here. I'm just gonna put some stuff so you know where we have the weapons. That's a defense, super ability. These are attacks. Okay, so we'll start with allies. I know a couple I want in here. Yeah, so first of all, Jack Flag. 4 cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health. Guardian. Response. After Jack Flag thwarts, place 1 ammo counter on him. A hero action, exhaust Jack Flag and remove 1 ammo counter from him to deal 2 damage to an enemy. So you can get thwart twice, then spend 2 turns to just deal 2 damage things, and then thwart or attack them. So he's just solid, versatile, and nice to have some damage in a thwart, in a justice ally, which usually don't see that much. So let's see here. I'm going to probably for now. Oh, obviously Jessica Jones. 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. Jessica Jones gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. And these are all side schemes that are out as long as they are alive. So she already has +4 thwart. So she is gonna be great, actually. Really, really strong. And then I'm actually gonna throw in Quake. 2 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 2 health. After a minion schemes, exhaust Quake, deal 2 damage to that minion. I just wanted a sheep ally to defend with, if I have to. Which is also the reason why I might throw in Vicken later. But I'm actually unsure. Okay, so let's see here. So that was 3 cards. Of course, we take the hero health to see the cards. Actually, what I'm gonna do this game, because it's unnecessary, I'm gonna move away so the villain health disappears. So it's just not in the way, you know? I think that's nice. And support. I don't really like any of the justice supports. Not really, no. And then we have some upgrades. We're gonna want to boost that thwart by 1. For 2, heroic intuition, boost thwart. Gives +1 to thwart. Max 1 per player. We're gonna want that sense of justice. Play under any player control. Max 1 per player. Exhaust sense of justice generates a mental resource for a thwart event, which is not how... Oh, actually, that is how we activate that. So then it's even better. Actually. And we're gonna have... So free resources are nice. I'm just gonna see what I want here first before I go through everything. That's definitely gonna be worth it. If I can get that out, it's gonna be nice, but not holding my breath. So, Skilled Investigator, 0 cost upgrade. Play under any player's control, max 1 player. After a side scheme is defeated, exhaust Skilled Investigator, draw 1 card. Actually, we're not taking that, because I'm pretty sure the side schemes that are out are the only side schemes that are gonna be in play. Yeah, it looks like it. Which means it would just be 4 times in the entire game, and it's gonna be difficult to get all the... So, yeah. So we're gonna take Under Surveillance, attach to the main scheme, max 1 per scheme. Increase the target threat value of the attached scheme by 4. It's just great in solo, and also there is one main scheme that we have to keep track of as well. I'm gonna put that there, actually, to look kind of nice. So that's just gonna help with that. And then 5. These are 5. Then we have 2 Sonic Rifles, which are 3 cost upgrade tech weapon. We like weapons. Restricted uses 2 charge counters. And then hero action, exhaust Sonic Rifle and remove 1 charge counter from it. Confuse an enemy. Or deal 3 damage to an enemy if it's already confused. We prefer our own weapons, but it's gonna be, if we can get one of them out, it would be nice to be able to confuse kind of whenever we want. And this one's just gonna be nice as well. And then we have events, and I already have, I know which cards I usually like. Like, I probably gonna take 2 of that. As I said, I'm just gonna take out what I'm gonna take first, and then I'm gonna read it for you. That's gonna happen semi-often, actually. That's just great in this one. Actually, that's great. Let's do that. I'm just taking out everything I'm interested in right now. Okay, so let's start with what I took out first. Also, that is 3 more of the ones I picked out, which means 3. 2 clear the area, 1 cost events. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat in that scheme, draw a card. Just a nice, cheap remove 2 threat. And then it can replace itself and just basically lose 1 card for the event or the cost. Or none at all if I use Sense of Justice. It's just a great one. Making an entrance. 1 cost event. When your hero makes a basic thwart, it gets +2 thwart for that thwart. After that thwart end, if your hero removed all threat from a scheme that way, heal 2 damage from your hero. It's just a nice self-heal and plus in thwart, which is gonna be nice. 2 multitasking, 1 cost event. Hero action, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If you paid for this card using a mental resource, remove 2 threat from a different scheme. Great when we have that many schemes to play with. I'm just gonna put this in a pile now. 2 think fast, 1 cost event. Play only if your identity has a guardian trait, which it does. Hero action, take 1 damage, confuse the villain. Just another way to confuse. 3 turn tight, 0 cost event. After your hero thwarts and removes all threat from a scheme, deal 3 damage to an enemy. Some nice attack. And then 2 scare tactics. 1 cost event, hero action, deal 3 damage to a confused enemy. And that is because we have Sonic Rifle to confuse, we have Think Fast to confuse, and we also have Behind Enemy Lines to confuse. So it shouldn't be too difficult to get those out. Which means I'm just gonna pick this out again because I forgot to count them. should be on 36 now, and I'm just gonna put them back in their places, and those are all damage. And that was not damage pile, that's the damage pile. Now we're gonna look a little bit at basic. As usual, the kit includes the basic 3 here. I'm gonna take an endurance because I'm playing solo. Usually I take downtime. But I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna actually take crew quarters this time instead to have a second heal. I know Pretty Rebirth already heals me, but crew quarters is a new one. I think I'm on 42. Play under any place control max one player, but exhaust crew quarters, heal 1 damage from alter ego. It's basically a 2 heal, so you flip to alter ego, heal, end turn, next turn you can heal again, and then you can flip back. It's 2 heal. If you're gonna heal, if you're only gonna tap to recover once, it's the same thing as a downtime. So I think it's a solid card. So I'm gonna put that in. We're not gonna put any Sense of Justice, because I think even though we have some expensive cards, we also have so many 0 and 1 cost cards that it's crazy. Which can be nice, because that means we're probably going to be able to use it more often with his ability here. But I have a couple of more cards that I want from... I'm actually going to throw in Groot. Play only if you don't has a Guardian trait. 3 cost, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 6 health. But after Groot defense against an attack, heal 2 damage from him. Just so I have a good blocker. And then it's just one thing I'm looking for right now. And that is... one side holster. Which is a 0 cost upgrade, max 1 player, and you can control 1 additional weapon. Upgraded has the restricted keyword. Which means you can pump it up to 4. Which means if we have R3, you can also put out a sonic rifle as well. That looks like 44. I'm just gonna check. It is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. I am happy with 44 cards, actually. Yeah, like, I could cut the sonic rifle and the side holster, but it's if we can get that, and especially since we have some scare tactics, it will be nice. So yeah, that's what we're going to run this game. And if we lose, as usual, we can look over the cards if we feel we didn't use any of them. But yeah. And we're gonna go down to 12 health. Which means I'm gonna start the best part of the entire stream, and that is the sleeving. Because I play enough to sleeve my cards. Yeah. This is the first stream in 2 weeks. Yeah, it was 3 weeks since the last stream. 2 weeks ago, I actually took my first shot of the COVID-19 vaccine. And I just felt tired after, and I really, my arm hurt, so I couldn't really lift it. And then I would have to try and stream it only one hand. And I was like, that doesn't really work, so I decided to rest instead. And then last week, I was up in the mountains with my family. So that was really nice, but I missed streaming, so I've been really looking forward to this week's stream. And yeah, no, it was actually right before I drove up to the mountain. I got I got the set, the Venom pack. It's just that how to say this? It was just I just got it the day right before we started driving up to the mountains. But I decided to not try and I brought Marvel Champions up, but I decided not to try and play him because I think it's quite. I can actually go back to this one. I think it's quite fun to try the character the first time on stream, and then I can give a little bit of a review what I think of him. I'm actually really hyped about stuff that's coming up in Marvel Champions now in the future. I know a lot of people are. I see a lot of people in the Facebook group who's not super hyped about what's going to be released, or they're actually even just. I'm just gonna shuffle these at the same time because there's so many decks. Or like the entire Guardians wave, there was a lot of people like, I haven't bought. I just bought them and now I don't play them, and I'm not gonna play it anymore. And I understand, like, some people prefer some things, some people prefer other things, some people don't have time to play as much. I make time, obviously. I stream once a week, so I make time to at least play once a week. If I can play one time outside of the stream, I'm happy. But mostly it's just the streams. Yeah, actually, so for the people who don't know, next up is Galaxy's Most Wanted, which is a big campaign box with Thanos and a couple of other villains, and also the heroes of Adam Warlock and Spectrum, or Monica Rambeau. So when those arrive, we're gonna do the same thing like we're doing now. When the box come, we're gonna play either Monica or Adam, depending on what you guys want to play. And then we play that, and then the week after we play the other character, and then we go back to the randomizing until the next hero releases. And the hero after that that's gonna be released is Nebula, which looks very interesting with technique cards and stuff. And yeah. And then after that, it's War Machine, who I really wasn't hyped about. At first, I was like, War Machine, not really a hero I care that much about. But then they released the article, and I'm really into it. For people who don't know, he has ammo counters on him that he can spend to use his like weapons and stuff on his armor, and do other cool stuff, which means it's like a secondary resource to keep track of. And I actually think it's really cool, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the rest of the cards in the pack. I'm actually really hyped. And then, spoiler alert, for the rest, it's things that got spoiled or leaked. And after that, it should be... right, it's the Hood that was officially announced, who is a enemy. And then we're probably gonna do the opposite when that scenario pack is released. That we have it set for that, and we randomize the hero, and still randomize the modular encounter, but randomize the hero and the aspect. We're not doing that when a big box expansion comes, because it's literally 5 scenarios, so that's gonna take I want to randomize more, just for personal opinion. But yeah, okay, so let's go through how this worked a little bit. I know it's a little bit glary. If I had a bigger surface and better lights, I would really try it. I decided not to sleeve these to avoid even more glare, but we see how that... I actually can push that light further away. Now that light fell away. Okay. Maybe that helped a little bit, I don't know. Anyway. Yes. Place the active account. So actually in this one, there's an active not all of them are gonna attack at once. There's an active. I'm just gonna see where I put that. There's an active villain who's gonna attack you and stuff, and we're gonna do encounter card from. And that's gonna start by being Wrecker. So you're just gonna use the regular first player token for that. And yeah. So here we have a main scheme. After step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 threat on each side scheme. Move the active counter to the villain whose scheme has the most threat. So we're gonna be able to control who's gonna attack us depending on who has most threat on it. And then all these have kind of the same thing. They cannot leave until they're matching villain leaves play. And they all have like force response after threat is placed there, and if there is 10 or more threat there. So this one has there's 10 or more threat here, deal 2 damage to each friendly character, and then remove all but 3 threat from the scheme. This one has, after threat is placed here, if there's 10 or more threat, each player must discard the top 10 cards of the deck, and remove all but 3 threat from the scheme. This one has, if there's 10 or more threat here, stun each friendly character, and then remove all but 3 threat from the scheme. And this one has, if there's 10 or more threat here, each player discards the upgrade or support they control with the highest cost. Remove all but 3 threat from this scheme, which is going to be terrible for Flash. And then they're pretty interesting, 3/3, and then all of them have the rule that when they scheme, they put threat on their side scheme instead of the main scheme. And then they all have, everyone except Thunderball has 3 in attack, Thunderball has 2, and then Bulldozer and Piledriver has 2 scheme, and Thunderball and Wrecker has 3 scheme. And then everyone has an ability when they attack. He has, while Wrecker is attacking, he has +2 attack if the attack is undefended. Bulldozer has, when Bulldozer attacks, the attack gains overkill. Thunderball has, after Thunderbolts attack you, deal 1 damage to each character you control. And Piledriver is, when Piledriver schemes, play... Oh, actually, he doesn't have any. It's just, he has Retaliate 1, right. But yeah. Is there any questions you guys have? Just put it in the chat, and I'll read an answer. But yeah, let's start with drawing our opening hand. I'm just gonna continue. I know I shuffled it a bit, but I'm gonna shuffle it a bit more. It never hurts. But yeah, I think it's cool that Flash Thompson came out as a playable character. And in Venom, I haven't really read any comics with him. But I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, where's Eddie Brock?" But I think this fits, and it's really cool. It doesn't have to be the most common version of the character. I think it's just cool that there's more different kind of characters. I mean, this is the second character that really cares about guns alongside Rocket Raccoon, and I think that's cool. They also work very differently. So yeah. So let's do this. Hand size of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's put the deck there. We got Think Fast, Behind Enemy Line, Savage Attack, Multitasking Jack Flag, and Turn the Tide. Also, I shall not forget to put the right amount of threats that these start with. Right, now. So, I'm... Multitasking is going to be so good to keep track of things. I'm just deciding if I want Think Fast. I don't think I'm gonna want Think Fast because I have Behind Enemy Lines here. Think fast is easier to deal with though. This one removes 3 threat though. Multitasking is already... I think you're gonna want Bulldozer to attack as much as possible, because he doesn't have a super bad effect when it attacks. Neither does Pile Driver, so you're probably gonna want Pile Driver to attack as much as possible. It would be nice getting Jack Flag out this early, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And I know I'm gonna get the armed and ready ability to get one of the guns. But since I don't even have... I'm gonna throw away get behind enemy lines, because the simple fact that I don't have any mental cards on hand to play it. It's not gonna be difficult to activate Turn Tide first turn. I'm gonna keep all the rest and just draw 1. Grasping Tendrils, nice. And then I'm gonna discard cards from the top of my deck until a gun. A weapon comes up, and it's the multi-gun, which is actually really, really good. Okay, so let's start with flipping to this. I am going to throw away Savage. I'm actually gonna throw away Savage Attack and Jack Flag, sadly, and then take 1 damage to get a wild resource to play the multi-gun. Then I'm going to throw away Think Fast to play multitasking, which is... Oh, actually I should have... Oh, I didn't have any mental. I had... Okay. So I'll get sure... It's just... I'm not going to get the effect. Actually, sorry. I throw away Think Fast to do that. I take a damage to get a wild resource to play multitasking. I'm so sorry. That's what I meant to do. I know I had a plan. Remove 2 threat from a scheme, which we're gonna start removing from his Wreckers. And then we can remove 2 so we paid for our mental resource. Thanks to that, we remove 2 threat from a different scheme, which means Thunderstruck, which is of course Thunderballs, is gonna be removed. Or I just... I'm actually just gonna not remove Wreckers, sorry, Thunderball, sorry, and then I'm gonna remove 2 from Pile Driver. Yes. And then I'm gonna use the multi-gun to remove 2 threat from a scheme, which I'm going to... This time I'm actually removing from that one. And could just do that. I'm tapping Venom to remove a threat from that one. Which means I can play Turn the Tide for free to deal 3 damage to an enemy. So we're actually gonna do that to Thunderball here. Because I really don't want to be stunned when I'm playing solo. So that's why I'm doing that. And that's all I'm gonna do, which means I'm gonna untap everything, draw up to 5 Quake, Endurance, Sonic Rifle, and Genius. Which means I'm gonna get that Sonic Rifle out way faster than I thought. Okay, so this means that we put 1 threat here. And then after step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 threat on each side scheme. Which means these 2 goes up to 5, and these 2 get 1 on them. Move the active counter to the villain whose scheme has the most threat. If there's tie, the first player chooses. I'm gonna choose Bulldozer because he doesn't have +2 when I don't gonna defend, and I'm not gonna. I mean. Hi, I'm sorry. It seemed like I disconnected. I don't know what happened, but I took 5 damage from the leading the charge with the bulldozer. I don't know when you disconnected. I just noticed it now. I was a bit too into the game. But yeah. Thank you all. I'm sorry for the technical struggles there. But anyway, this is the encounter card we get. Buddy System. Choose the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. Reveal the top card of his deck. Okay. Top 2 if it's the only villain, but that is Pile Driver, which means it's a buddy system which will activate another Pummel. Pile Driver attacks you. If Pile Driver is tough, he gets +2 attack. So he's gonna attack me. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna take that. That is gonna be 3. Move the active counter to the villain with the least threat on his side scheme, the villain schemes. Okay. It just stays here, and I only take 3 damage. And then he schemes for 2. Only 2. And of course, he puts in his side scheme instead. Like that. And then it is our turn. That was a very interesting turn. But yeah, so what I'm actually gonna do is I am going to... I'm going to flip. I think that's kind of obvious. So I'm gonna throw away Quake and Genius to play Sonic Rifle, which comes in with 2 charge counter on it. And then I'm taking a damage from that to do Endurance to give me +3 health. And then I'm gonna use Sonic Rifle to... It's the most threat. So I'm actually gonna keep that on Bulldozer. So I'm gonna confuse Bulldozer. And then I'm gonna use my multi-gun to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And then I remove from that scheme. And then I am... Actually, I didn't have to remove threat from the scheme. I could have just... Yeah. No, I don't remove... Sorry, I don't remove threat from that scheme. I use it to deal 2 damage to an enemy, the first ability, to start pondering down Thunderball there. And that was... And then I flip. I heal 4. So that's a good recovery, and then I'm gonna be done there. So I got on tap 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. That's actually cool. Which means it is the villain phase. Which means there's 1 threat on the main scheme. And 1 threat on each side scheme. And then I choose who's going to be first leader. And between these 2, and it's going to be him here, Bulldozer, who's going to try and scheme, but he's confused, so he doesn't scheme. And then I get a counter card, which is attached to Bulldozer. When Bulldozer attacks you, you must defend against Bulldozer's attack with an ally you control if able. After Bulldozer attacks you, discard this card. It's a +2 damage, which is kind of nasty. I'm gonna move these up to the limit because I'm kind of running out of space. I was hoping I would never randomize into Wrecking Crooks, so I didn't know how to solve it with space, but I hope this works for y'all. But yeah. Okay, that was a pretty... Okay, I mean, I just keep Bulldozer from attacking me, I guess. So yeah. So what I'm actually gonna do this turn is I'm gonna start by recovering for 13. That is one more than my max health. Or I don't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me think a minute. I'm gonna play yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna heal 4 by doing that. I'm gonna flip to hero form. I'm throwing away making an entrance and think fast to play Spider Sense. When the villain initiates an attack against you, draw a card, which is very, very nice. Then I'm gonna throw away Run and Gun and take a damage with that ability to play Sense of Justice, which is a nice I'm gonna remove. Oh, okay. That's why. I'm sorry. Give me a second. With all my streaming lamps, I'm not supposed to have the lamp in the roof do anything because it really doesn't do anything. It's just glare because it's straight above here. So, well, now it's better. And then Sonic Rifle I'm not gonna activate because I don't need anyone to be confused right now. Who do I want to hit me? I really don't want Wrecker to hit me, but I want Pile Driver to be the one who hits me. But yeah, it's not gonna be able to happen because I have to remove 3 threats. I'm just gonna take. I'm probably just gonna take Bulldozer. It's gonna be the same. I'm just gonna defend against Bulldozer. No. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm gonna just take face tank the Bulldozer attack probably. Oh, right. I have Grasping Tendrils. I hope I get so I can do that. Anyway, multi-gun. Remove 2 threats. I'm gonna remove 2 threats from here, which means I'm down to 4. Yes. And that's all I do in my turn. Which means I get to Run and Gun, multitasking, under surveillance, and turn the tide. And yeah, so 1 threat on everything here, which means these 2 go up to 5. And these 2 just get like that. And then he's gonna attack me. So what I do is I take a damage from that. I throw away multitasking to play Grasping Tendrils. When the villain initiates an attack against you, cancel the attack. And then I will stun him. But when the villain initiates an attack against you, and this is also when the villain initiates an attack against you, which means they have the same timing, which means I decide which order. So I'm gonna draw a card. Scare tactic, okay. Yeah. And then this one will cancel attack and stun Bulldozer. And then I get an encounter card. Chaos Imprisoned. When revealed, choose to either discard an upgrade you control or place 1 threat on the active villain's side scheme for each upgrade you control. I control 5. That's gonna remove the top 10 card. I mean, I'm gonna have to remove... I'm gonna remove Sense of Justice, actually. Okay. That means it's our turn. actually want him to... I actually really want Bulldozer right now to to attack because he's stunned. I mean, it won't activate Spider Sense, but it's still gonna be nice. I'm not really gonna use Turn the Tide on anything anyway. Scare Tactic I could use if I Sonic Rifle someone. Actually, yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Sonic Rifle to confuse the one I'm hitting the most, and I just, when I flip to Alter Ego mode, I just control so he's the active villain. And then I throw away Turn the Tide to play Scare Tactic. Deal 3 damage to a confused enemy. Nice. 1, 2, 3. I could take a damage to play Under Surveillance, but I really... I mean, yeah, it's gonna be nice. I'm gonna take a damage for away Run and Gun to play Under Surveillance. Just so this one has... It's now 10, which is a very good thing when you're playing solo. And then, last but not least, I have these two still to do. So I'm actually gonna use Venom to attack the lovely Thunderball. Wait, let me just... Yeah, I just double check so I can attack any villain, but I can, yeah. Then I'm gonna use Multi-Gun to remove 2 threat from that scheme. And yeah, that was that. Let's do this. Let's drop the 5 cards. Scare Tactic is not an upgrade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've realized sometimes that oh, Project Rebirth, Jessica Jones, Venom's Pistol, Holster upgrade. Oof. This is a good hand. Yes, that is a good hand. Anyway, I've realized sometimes that I misread upgrades. That I was like, oh, this card sucks for that cost, and then it's like I read it as an event instead of an upgrade, and I was like, oh wait, this is actually really good. That has happened a couple of times, sadly, especially when it's like new announced stuff. You are gonna be 5. You going on to be 6. You going up on 8, which is scary. And then you also go up on 6, which means it's his turn to attack. He is stunned, so he can't. Which sadly doesn't activate Spider Sense, because it's instead of an attack. Leading the charge, discard the top X card of your deck, where X is Bulldozer's attack. Place 1 threat on Bulldozer's side scheme for each different card type discarded this way, which means it's going to activate, sadly. His attack is right now is 5 because of the upgrade, which means upgrade, event, which is 2, which is exactly what was needed, which means this one lowers to 3, but then I have to discard top 10 cards of my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not terrible. Could be a lot worse. Annoying, but still not terrible. Anyway. I mean, we're gonna get an extra encounter card from the active one then. But yeah, it is our turn. And I'm not gonna use Side... I'm not gonna play Side Hoster, actually. Because, yeah, no, I'm not gonna play Side Hoster. I'm gonna throw away Side Hoster to play Venom's Pistol, which is great. And then I take a damage with my thing there, throw away Strength to play Jessica Jones, which right now has 5 thwart, because you get +1 thwart for each side scheme play, and these are all side schemes. I have 5 thwart with her right now for 3, which is insane. I was gonna play side holster, but I really don't want to throw away the heal. Anyway, let me just. Okay. Jessica is gonna thwart. What a surprise. She is going to thwart Wrecker's side scheme for 5. Deals the damage to her, but it's fine. It's so worth it. I mean, 5 threat removed for 3 is kind of good still. And considering it's probably going to be, unless I kill one of them, it's going to be 15. Thwart for 3, which is insane. Multi-gun is gonna be used to... I mean, I could deal 2 damage to an enemy. Yeah, actually. I'm gonna tap it. Deal 2 damage to Thunderball. 14. Then I'm gonna attack with Venom and use Venom's pistol to get +1 to that power to attack, which will put him on 1, which means I can kill him whenever I want. So yeah, which means I'm done with the turn. I'm gonna untap. I'm gonna draw a card. I get the active villains. That one when I reshuffle. Anyway, so I've shuffled. So yeah, I'm sorry, I just muted myself a little bit because I had a conversation with my partner. Real fast, that's a question. Anyway, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we have here. Random gun, multitasking, locked and loaded, and sense of justice. Locked and loaded is gonna be so good. That means I can get the second Venom's pistol this turn. That's gonna be great. Anyway, +1 threat on everything here. You actually go to 5, which would be scary, but not with the upgrade I have there. And then actually... Wait a second. Was that really 5-3 or was that supposed to be 5-1? I think it was supposed to be 5-1, right? I can't really go back in my live stream right now and see, but I think it was a 5-1. Yeah, because I just thought that I didn't have to replace anything, so I put a 3 there. It's really weird. I think it's a 5-1. If I'm wrong, please yell at me or something. But I think it was supposed to be a 5-1 there. 6 there. Which means this one goes Pile Driver or Thunderstruck, but I'm going to go Pile Driver. Because otherwise I would never have let the threat go there. I just use Jessica Jones there instead. So, Pile Driver attacks me. First of all, he initiates the attack, which means I get to draw a card first. And that is behind enemy lines. And then I'm going to be attacked by 3, 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, yeah. So, yeah, which is nice. And now I have 6 cards in my hand, like I almost were in Alter Ego form. Yeah, so encounter card. So let's start with the bulldozer one, because that one's released first. That's another ramming speed. He still hasn't attacked us since the first ramming speed. So right now his attack is 7, so let's not never let him be the active one again. And then the second one here is escape plan. When revealed, you are confused. So we are confused, sadly. I mean, I was going to play behind enemy line, probably. Nah, I wouldn't anyway. I don't think it would really work unless you get that ability. Anyway, our turn. Probably gonna flip this turn, though. Which means we want Thunderbolt to be the one in control. Anyway, locked and loaded. Start with that. Search your deck for a weapon upgrade and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. I'm looking for the second pistol. There he was. Such a good card. A 0-cost event that just lets you tutor a card. It's just so good. Tutor is searching the deck for a specific card. I mean, it replaces itself. It's just a way to easy find the weapon you want. Yeah, see what I want to do with things here right now. Oh, this sleeve was weird. Anyway, I mean, I kind of want to do multitasking. Yes. Actually, I could have behind. Oh, right, I'm confused, so I can't multitask with... That sucks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw away run and gun, sadly, to play multitasking, to remove the confused. Then I'm gonna take a damage. Shite. I'm flickety flick flick. No. I'm sorry, I gotta redo this. I'm sorry, yes, I have this on my hand. Yes. And yeah, I'm just doing running gun, multitasking, removing the confused. Then here, instead of doing what I was supposed to do with throw behind the enemy lines, I'm gonna throw Y behind enemy lines to play Project Rebirth 2.0. And then so I'm fine not having Sense of Justice, even though it would be very nice. So I'm actually gonna take a damage to play my pistol. Then I'm gonna use multi-gun to remove 2 threats somewhere. And I'm gonna remove 2 threats. I'm gonna remove 2 threats from this one. Yes, exactly. And then I'm tapping Jessica Jones. Do 1 damage to her to remove 5 threat from the main scheme. Then I flip to recover 4. And I'm gonna use Project Rebirth to recover 3 more. And now I'm almost up to my original hit points. And that's what I'm gonna do this turn. That's just how it's gonna go. So untap, drop to 6, 2 scare tactic, nice. Making an entrance, 4 target tide, savage attack, 6 and genius. Okay. Quite annoying though. Well, anyway. That was our turn. Villain's turn. They put one threat on the main scheme. These two both go up to 5s. This one goes up to 7, and this one goes up to a 3. Which means his Thunderstruck turn, he's gonna... he's confused. So he's not going to scheme, and then we get down encounter card. And it is Tactical Prowess. Move all threats from the side scheme with the least threat, which is 3. It's gonna activate shit. To the side scheme with the most threat. If that scheme is forced, responsibility is not triggered this way. This card stays there, but it's going to be triggered. Because that is 3 away to here, which is a 10, which means stun each friendly character. And then remove all but 3 threats. Which means both Jessica and Flash is stunned. I mean, Jessica we don't really care about. So, okay. Interesting. I mean, that does put interesting change to our plans. So Thunderball was the active one. Anyway, it's our turn. I'm gonna use Project Rebirth not to heal myself 3 more car. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna heal myself 3 more. It's just nice. Because I have endurance, so I can go up to 15 totally. And then I flip this. Venom. Actually, sorry, no. No. I use this one to draw a card instead of healing 3. That was the second turn to Tide. Now I flip here, which means for people who don't know, I have a pretty nice combo here, which means I am actually going to thwart with Venom, using these two, which pumps it up to 3, and also what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a damage to do making an entrance, which gives me +2 thwart, which means that's 5. So I'm gonna remove the one there. And then with making an entrance, if I remove the last threat from a scheme, I get to heal 2 damage. And then I'm gonna play 2 Turn the Tide. One of Turn the Tide is gonna remove the stun, and the other Turn the Tide is gonna deal... And of course, this is after you hear thwarts and remove all threat from a scheme, deal 3 damage to enemy. So I'm gonna do 3 damage to one, and the other one remove the thing. I'm actually gonna start removing Bulldozer, because he is starting to look like a beast. Pun intended. I mean, I don't even know it wasn't even a pun. Bulldozer is not beast, he's a machine. He looks like a machine, that was my plan to say. Anyway. And then I did take a damage, yeah. Which means I can now throw away Genius to play Savage Attack, which deals 5 damage to an enemy. I mean, I didn't do the thing because they don't need an overkill. That's why I didn't pay with energy. And I also couldn't pay with energy. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like these. But hey, what do we have to work with? Which means he's down to 7. Wait. I'm just reading a couple things on the cards here. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use multi-gun. No, actually, I'm gonna use Jessica Jones. Wait, let me just read something in the book here. Yeah, so you removed I just didn't see it on the cards, but you removed the side schemes when the villain is defeated. Just as a thought. That's just very important to the thing here. So I use Jessica Jones to remove the 5 threat on pilot on, which means Jessica Jones sadly is defeated, but she's done 15 thwart for 3 cost. That's insane. And then I'm just using multi-gun to kill Thunderball down to 0 health. Which means I'm gonna just remove this, like, I'm just gonna remove this permanently, because that means I have more space. Just give me a second. Thunderball is gone. Thunderstruck disappears as well when he is killed. Like that, and all of a sudden we have so much more nice space. Some more space at least. Anyway. So that was that, and then I can't really use Scare Attack to go Sense of Justice, because I've already used that thing. So she was stunned, which is fine. Which means I'm done with my turn. Which means I'm gonna actually discard Scare Tactic. I'm actually gonna, sorry, I'm actually gonna discard Sense of Justice as well. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, okay. Which means it is the villain phase. 1 threat on this, and then 1 threat on each side scheme. And then we choose who we want to be the active villain. Pile Driver sounds great. 3 attack, plus 2, 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fair enough. And then we get an encounter card, and that is Oversized Hand. Discard the support you control with the highest cost. If no support will discard this way, place 2. Sadly, we have Project Rebirth as support. But hopefully we're not going to use too much. Which means, I mean, we still have crew quarters on hand, which is going to help a little bit with that. But it's just annoying. Which means it's our turn. So what I am going to do... Also, he initiated an attack against me, which means I get to draw a card with Spider Sense. Sonic Rifle, okay. I'm probably not going to play Sonic Rifle again. Yeah, no. So what's going to happen is I'm gonna start attacking down Wrecker. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw a multitasking and side holster to use Savage Attack. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using only energy, which it did not. So 5 damage. And what I mean with attacking Wrecker is I'm gonna kill Bulldozer first. So I'm going down to 2 health. And then I use multi-gun to deal 2 damage to an enemy, which means Bulldozer is luckily now dead. Which means I can remove him from the play area, and now we have a lot of space, which means I can actually put them like, yeah, maybe here. Yeah, nice. A lot of space. And then I attack with these 2, which is a total of 4 into Wrecker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I take a damage for my free resource. I think I took a damage. No, I did not. It didn't activate. So now it's on... Oh, yeah, it did. It was just slow on my screen, but not on yours. Anyway, 6 is what we're supposed to be. I throw a Sonic Rifle in crew quarters. And then, of course, that I did. To play Run and Gun. Ready Venom in each weapon upgrade you control. which means Venom can now do that and that, which is 2, 3, 4 as a basic attack, and then 2 extra as multi-gun, which means I'm down to 8 health on him. Which means I can untap everything. I can draw cards up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Think fast. Crafting tendrils, think fast. Turn the tide and clear the area. Okay. Not the most exciting thing. I mean, clear the area together with turn the tide is pretty nice, actually. Anyway, this one goes up to 3. I go 1, 1. And then pile drivers can attack me when I initiate an attack, just before I do that, which sadly wasn't. I want to use that when I can stun the villain as well. That's actually really, really good. Anyway, he's gonna attack me. I'm not gonna defend. He's gonna attack for 3. Give the active villain a tough status card. Okay. Which means that is a solid 3 only. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That means it's an account card, which is Escape Convict, which has Surge. But wait, now actually we can. Now it's actually the first minion we face, which means we can actually just, you know, have it down here. Now we have space. So that was great that it was this late. But it also has Surge, which is annoying. Pummel. Pile driver attacks you. If pile driver is tough, he gains +2 for the attack. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. I'm taking a damage. And then I throw away a Think Fast to play Grasping Tendrils. When the villain initiates an attack against you, cancel the attack. I'm gonna cancel the attack, but it is a Spider Sense, so I do get a card more. And, yeah. So, this is not a tap ability, it just happens. It's great. Super strong. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to do very interesting things. I mean, I don't really care about them scheming, so I'm gonna throw away High Heroic Intuition to play Clear the Area. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last scheme removes the last threat from that scheme, draw a card. I'm gonna remove 2 threat from this one here, which means I get to draw a card. Now to clear the area. And then I actually use Turn Tide alongside that, obviously. After your hero thwarts and removes all threat from a scheme, deal 3 damage to an enemy. And I am using that 3 enemy damage to remove the Escaped Convict. Then I use Multi-Gun to deal 2 damage here. And I got tap Venom and deal these 4 to deal 4 more damage. I'm sorry, I tap Venom and these 2 to deal 4 more damage to Wrecker, which means he's down to 2 health. Then I'm gonna take a damage. And I'm gonna throw away Cleared Area and Think Fast, use Running Gun, which every weapon and Venom is readied. I use Multi-Gun to deal 2 damage to Wrecker, which means Wrecker is dead. Yep. I'm just gonna remove his scene, which means... Actually, I'm just gonna do this. Bum. Bum bum. Yeah. So now we have a... Now it looks like normal. Except we don't have the villain damage, but we're just gonna keep doing this one. Because you guys can see it clearly there. Yes, and then I flip to alter ego mode to recover 4. Yes, I am. Which means I'm gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grasping Tendrils, Sonic Rifle, Quake, making an entrance behind the enemy line, and energy. Okay. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at this at all. Yeah, no, I'm actually not mad at all on this. Yeah, that's actually great. Anyway, it is villain phase, which means 1 threat. 1 threat on there and 1 threat on here. And then he is gonna scheme. And he schemes for 4. I'm actually gonna do 4. So it's a 7. Then it's an encounter card. And it is, when revealed, the villain whose side scheme has the most threat schemes. He is going to be annoying. He's gonna scheme for 2. Discard a support control. I don't have any supports. So he's gonna scheme for 2. Ooh, that was close. I'm gonna have to flip and also flash and multi-gun is... I'm gonna have to flip to remove some threats, it seems like. Anyway. I'm actually gonna use flash recovery to recover 4 more. And then I'm going to flip. Use the multi-gun to remove 2 threats from the main scheme. I am going to take a damage and throw away Sonic Rifle to use behind enemy line. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. Which of course is gonna be this one, which means I'm just gonna put 3 back there. And then if you pay for this card using only mental resources, which I did, I get to confuse an enemy. Pyre is now confused as well. I can actually bring this down now. And then I'm gonna throw away energy to use Quake. After minion schemes, exhaust Quake, deal 2 damage to minion. We don't have that many minion, but we get minion now. I'm probably gonna want to go back to alter ego 1 more turn. Now that he's confused, just heal up a little bit more so I can punch harder. So yeah. Venom, multi-gun. Drop to 5, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Okay. He's gonna attack me. When the villain initiates an attack against you, I am going to take a damage from that, and then throw away make an entrance, which is another fist, which means I'm gonna use grasping tendrils, which means I'm gonna cancel attack, but first Spider Sense is gonna activate to give me scare tactic in my hand, and then since I only use physical resources, I'm gonna stun him, which means he has a very nice, lovely trifecta of status conditions. Very nice. We like that. And he doesn't get to attack me. Then we get his last encounter card. And Uncanny Resilience. Move each stunned and confused status card from each villain. Remove each stunned and confused status card from each villain. I enjoyed you while you were there. Annoying. Anyway, it's our turn. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to do that much. I'm gonna throw away Scare Tactic, Grouped, and Strength to play Jack Flag. And then Jack Flag is gonna thwart away 2 from this one, which means he gets an ammo counter on him that he can spend to deal damage. Actually, Quake is actually going to attack away that tough status card, and she's gonna die because he retaliates. But it was a nice knowing you, Quake. Now, how do I want to do this? I kind of want to flip back to alter ego mode. Maybe not for healing, So I'm actually gonna use this one to remove 2 threats from this scheme, so that he doesn't out-scheme this one. And then I'm gonna use him to attack for 4, which means he goes down to 10. I still take 1 damage because he has retaliates. And then I flip. Oh, I bent the card a little bit, but it wasn't any super much. So yeah, up here. Which means actually how does it work with okay, so it's just as normal. When this one gets reshuffled now, it's just as normal. It's an acceleration token. Okay, great. Because this this scenario pack was so unique, they included this little tiny thing to explain everything. I think that's cool. I mean, it just takes a long time to play against Wrecking Crew. It's not very difficult. It just takes some time, especially if you're more players. Would I have been as happy if they never released it? I mean, yeah. But I really appreciated them exploring. And that's what I like about the new scenarios. It seems like that they're trying to explore into new things. Like the entire collector thing in Galaxy's Most Wanted was very, very unique. Which means that one goes there. Very, very unique, and I liked it. I mean, it was difficult, but I liked it. But yeah. I don't even know if I shuffled this already, but I'm just gonna do this just in case. Sadly, if Jack Flag uses his ammo counter now, it's gonna take a damage back because of the pile drivers retaliate. Sadly, it doesn't have range. Sadly, but yeah, it's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Energy, cleared area, multitasking, savage attack behind enemy lines, and making an entrance. Oh, that's actually quite nice. That's actually really, really nice. Okay, cool. So it is the villain phase. 1+1 threat on each scheme. And then he schemes for discard a support you control. I don't control any supports, so that's only 2 threat on his scheme. And then it is an encounter card, which means I have 2 encounter cards from him. Pummel, Pile Driver schemes. If Pile Driver is tough, he gets +2 schemes. He is not tough, so it's just gonna scheme normally for 2, 3 in total. Ta-da! Also, this one should be a 5 instead of 311. This one. Escape plan. You are confused. If you are already confused, Power schemes. I am confused. Okay. Annoying. I was gonna do stuff. I mean, I really don't have to. I mean, I have a kill, so I really don't have to. Anyway, it means I'm going to... It's my turn. I'm going to flip. I'm gonna tap Jack Flag. Also, he should have a damage because he is already thwarted. So tap, use his ammo token to take an extra damage from the retaliate, but deal 2 damage to Pile Driver. I throw away energy to play Savage Attack, which is deal 5 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using only energy resources, which I did, it's overkill. It's not gonna do any difference, but it's 5 damage. It is an attack, which means I take I don't take normal. I take that kind of damage. Which means he has 3 health left. Which means I just tap Venom with his pistols and kill Pile Driver. So yeah, thank you all for joining the stream. As said, I think it's a cool scenario. I really like that they're experimented. I think this is gonna go back a little bit now. They've said, spoiler alert if you don't want, like this, if you don't want anything spoiled, but they said that Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight in the next is also gonna work something with the active villain and stuff. But it's like it's just 2 of them, and they can't. But instead of like doing this, you have to just take 1 and 1 out. They don't get discarded if they have 0 health, if not the other one also has 0 health. So they just keep in, you have to take them both out and not just 1 and 1, like this one. So I think it's a nice starting point to learn more. It's not a unfun scenario, it's just nothing, it's just long and not difficult. For people who don't know, the new Hood scenario brings a new Standard 2 and Expert 2 sets. And I really wish you could put the regular Expert and Standard set in this. So you could switch it out, which means, but now you can't. And you can't make it more difficult with a Modular Encounter. Which means you really can't do any of the things that they've said, like this is a way to make it more difficult, except playing Heroic, which I just usually don't do. I don't think it's going to be that much difficult without doing like Heroic 2 or 3. But yeah, so this was a game. My opinion on Venom. I really like him. One of my favorite characters to play in the game is Rocket Raccoon. And Rocket Raccoon Aggression specifically. And I think I'm just gonna love Venom in Aggression. Like, I just really enjoy him, and it's great. And like Aggression with some mean swings, so these +1 becomes +3s. And like, oh, it can be so cool. I'm gonna privately try an Aggression deck with Venom. Just for fun. And then see who are playing next week. I can't wait to see who we're gonna play next week. It's a bunch of fun Justice cards in the Venom pack. It's like Jack Flag is from the Venom pack. I love Jack Flag. Making an Entrance is from the Venom pack. I felt it wasn't too good with him because you usually have a 1 thwart, which means 3 unless you have the guns out. Maybe it's just a scenario where I don't have the thwart as much. But like someone who already has like 2 or 3 always, making an Entrance is gonna be so good to be able to just kick the last thwart out and then just heal a little bit. It's so cool. And Sonic Rifles also 3 cost upgrade for 3 points for 2 confuse. I mean, and you can control, or it's 6 damage if people are already confused. 3 for 6 is bad, but 3 for having an upgrade that you use as confuse whenever you want could be very useful. In solo player, very useful. As a pure solo, true solo, it's great. Like because the problem with solo is when you flip back, there's no one else to like thwart for you. So, and you always have a low ceiling of threats you can take, which means if you can avoid it, you don't want to flip back. Sonic Rifle and some other cards that lets you confuse, but this one, when you can really like play it out the first turn and then not use it for 5 turns before you use it. So you have it when you actually need it. I think it's a great card in True Solo. Might say it's a little bit worse the more player you add. I played it. So even though I didn't play Agent Venom, I played some of the cards with my brother. And I played Sonic Rifle then when we were 4. My brother and I play Galaxy's Most Wanted with 2 heroes each. Takes a long time, but it's very fun. And I tried Sonic Rifle in that. And I feel that in 4 players, 1 confuse isn't that good. I generally feel that in 4 players, it's a nice thing to have, but you shouldn't put 3 points just to get it. Like, more often than not, we flip back to alter ego mode with 2-3 heroes, and then it doesn't do that much difference. But I might be wrong, but I think True Solo, it's great. And I love Venom, it's great. I'm gonna play him more now privately. And then I hope we can randomize into him again very soon. But yeah, as you know, the last thing we do when we win is we go to this screen. We're looking up. Where is Wrecking Crew? Wrecking Crew is there. With Bulldozer as a picture. And then as a G, I see here. And then we go down to Venom, which is the latest one. Venom G. And we played that's not Justice. We played Justice. And yeah. So, actually that was a way nicer color, the mustard one I used there. Is it that one? No, it was one darker. I don't know. That one. Yeah. No, but so we won 4 times out of all streams. Kang, Spider-Man, Collector, or Escape the Museum, Hawkeye, Mutagen Formula. No, that's not Mutagen Formula. Risky Business, Spider-Woman, Leadership, Justice, and now Justice Venom against Bulldozer. I can't wait for this to be more filled up and see what happens. But yeah, so thank you all so much for coming to the stream. I had a great time. I'm very happy that you guys wanted to join me. I was kind of missing streaming now when I had 2 weeks of vacation, but we're going back at it, and I'm gonna start doing... last time I talked about that I was thinking of doing Arkham Horror content, and I'm actually gonna probably start shooting a video, not live stream, but a video next week, start shooting it, and we'll see when they're gonna come out. I have some cool ideas. I don't know if I'm gonna be pulling it off, but we'll see. So yeah, thank you all for coming to the stream. I thank you for sitting with me this evening, and we all love Venom now, right? I see you all next week, and I hope you have an amazing week until then. Okay, bye!